I rented Star Wars Outlaws from my library, from my local library on Xbox. And I played like, I got to the credits, opening credits. It's like, you got to play a while to get to the opening credits. And then you get like your land speeder thing or whatever. Game like actually surprised me. Like that it was of such a high quality. I know they fixed a lot of it, over the last several months since it came out. It looks really good. Like obviously it cost a fortune to make. My biggest complaint I would say is like the combat is kind of bland. Like the shooting is bland.
Well, it's because when they made the game, you weren't supposed to shoot anybody.
I was going to say that's a big part of it, and you do change how your weapon works, and the combat is because again, I played what you're playing. I played the old game, so I have no comparison, no basis of comparison.
It's easier.
I'm sure it's significant.
I only have died. The only time I've died is like missing a jump and falling. Like not from combat.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
it was the stealth that was terrible.
Yeah, can you switch your gun between two different styles of gun yet, or no?
I just upgraded the gun for the first time. Okay. I just got on the ship.
There's at one point you change your gun from like a regular gun to a gun that's like electric based. So you fight like people type enemies and robot type enemies, and you have to switch how your gun fires depending upon the enemy type.
Yeah. Electricity doesn't work on people. We all know that.
Well, it'll just stun them, but bullets won't work on robots.
No, bullets don't work on robots.
Definitely not. They just bounce right off.
Right.
So you gotta like switch it around, but it just makes it a little bit like
it's
makes
annoying. You're saying to switch the guns.
No, it's actually kind of fun. I like it.
Oh, you're saying you like that part of the combat.
Yeah, I like
forward to that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes it a little more interesting. I'm saying that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, like the dialogue is good. Like I feel like the writing is pretty solid. The voice work is good. Like the graphics of the people, like the close-ups of people's faces talking. Like the audio doesn't sync up right, but other than that, like it's good. Like clearly, like a lot of time and money went into this. It's
the grass and trees growing inside buildings.
So you can hide behind them. I mean, yeah, it's definitely like Assassin's Creed Star Wars in some ways, except the combat is not as fleshed out, which is a weakness, I think. Like the biggest weakness so far. But I don't know, so far so good.
They should have leaned into Assassin's Creed more, honestly. Because
if you're shooting people,
Assassin's Creeds.
If you're going to be killing people anyway, which you there's like no consequences for killing people in this game. Like they give you a gun, like a stun gun, but you also have a fucking blaster and you just fucking shoot them right in the head and they die. You have like a little pet with you and you can send the pet out to like pick up shit off the ground. Yeah. Do everything, right? And you can send the pet out to like this to jump on someone's head and then you can just shoot the person in the head right through your own pet.
I like punching someone and when the
like one pet is on them.
Yeah, right. That's kind of funny.
So when I played the game, that was like the pet was like pretty much the only thing you were doing for the majority of the time because
you had to.
It was so annoying. It was like, all right, space oxalotl, go over that way and distract that guy so I can maybe randomly not run into another guy over here as I try to move forward.
You don't have to deal with that at all, dude. It's just like any way you want to do it.
I want to go back and play it because
you want to throw grenades. Fucking throw the grenades. Like
love it.
Yeah.
But that's what the game should have been.
Yeah.
Because it was frustrating, and that's why I stopped playing. And when I picked it up, I was like, "Wait, this is like fun now."
The reviews all agreed with you, Wombat, and they were like, "This is not like this is not maximizing my fun."
Yeah, this is not what we want out of a Star Wars game made by Ubisoft. We want Assassin's Creed Star Wars, and they like just were like, no, we want this to be unique. I'm like,
we want small retractable lightsabers and gauntlets.
I mean, pretty much. Look, if the combat was more like Assassin's Creed and it was you were a Jedi,
right?
I mean, and you were getting loot.
Mind.
You were getting the loot.
But I don't want a full lightsaber because I don't want to just like go through people. But if I had little retractable lightsaber gauntlets,
I mean, you don't want to
like about 5 inches long.
Sure, I mean, I get it. I get that could be fun, but wouldn't lightsabers be fun too? And collecting different lightsaber loot?
I don't know. I don't need a Jedi. There's enough Jedi games. I'm gonna say it didn't need to be a Jedi game. I think they made the right choice not making it a Jedi.
But Assassin's Creed with I don't know.
They
Assassin's Creed has
Jedi.
a lot of swords and it also has like hammers and stuff.
Yeah,
They could have done that.
Sure.
They could have done that. It could have been like just like a random dude or dudette that has big melee weapons. Why not?
Laser hammers.
Sure.
Laser hammer.
That's what I'm saying. Make the combat a little more refined, and then you got a real winner here.
You know what this reminds me of? Did you see that they retconned the ending of the Suicide Squad game?
We don't know the ending of the Suicide Squad game.
Nobody knows the ending of the
Wombat got there. We know that.
I did. I finished that game. But in the last season, whatever, the final one, because they're not doing anything more for this game, they they added like a exactly. They added a new ending cutscene. It's not animated. It's just still pictures with voice underneath it. But
did their mouths move?
No mouths move.
Okay,
they didn't even clutch cargo it. And it turns out that the Justice League you're fighting, not the Justice League.
No, it wasn't Batman that I killed.
It wasn't Batman.
Oh,
theoretically, if I had played this game.
Right.
Wait, who was it?
It was clones.
Oh.
Just clone. It was a dream. It was all a dream.
Essentially, that's what they were like. No, Batman's still alive, so we can make more Batman games now. Batman. Everyone loves Batman.
Nobody would have known if they killed Batman in that game. They didn't have to retcon that.
You don't remember that? You remember that. That was yeah.
Nobody
played that.
They killed Batman in every game. They gonna retcon the other one, the Gotham Knights game?
Yes.
Not dead in that? That was clone too.
Although I never finished that. Are we sure he's dead in that game? Because I could see him coming back at the end.
He probably comes back at the end.
I think he comes back at the end.
Sorry, guys, what'd I miss?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the game's over? Bet you wish I was here earlier.
Because I could do everything that the four of you could do as individuals, where you have to like switch it up. I do that all. I do all of it as one character. Not like, oh, I want the guy who could climb walls. Oh, but I also need the person that can slide.
I need the person that can shoot a gun.
Yeah, it's that game. That game just was like, oh, this game would be so much more fun if I was Batman.
They'll figure it out one year. They'll make a few more games that nobody buys for 150 million, and
I feel bad. I feel bad because it's like it's not that it's a terrible idea. It's just at the end of the day, it's like, but is it?
It was a terrible idea, actually. The Suicide Squad part was a terrible idea.
Yeah,
the game wasn't a terrible idea.
The Suicide Squad game doesn't work because it wasn't trying to make this some sort of monetization game. Was never going to work, and Suicide Squad without there being a Justice League
Polka
game.
Dot Man.
No, it needed a Justice League game or a Batman game that either came out before it or
something like Gotham City Imposters.
Yeah. Like remember when everyone thought it was going to be a Superman game, and people were kind of excited because we knew that Rocksteady was working on something that took place in Metropolis, which is what Suicide Squad does. It takes place, and people are like, "Oh, it's going to be an open world Superman game from the makers of Arkham Knight," and that could totally work. And you're right, that totally could work. But you know what? That's not what it was. It was a Suicide Squad game, and everyone was disappointed because, like, yeah, but we want to be Superman, not Captain Boomerang.
Right.
And that's because there never really has been a great Superman game, and I think there is potential to make a great Superman game. I think you can make a great, fighting some sort of giant.
What's the best Superman game? The arcade game?
Maybe the one where there's red Superman. If you're playing
two players.
Yeah,
you need that.
Mm-hmm.
I think
either that or Atari 2600.
That one's not bad. You know, it's not bad. The Justice League game
the telephone booth was really hard to figure out in that Atari game.
Right.
I only have one button.
Justice League Heroes.
Not working.
It's not working. Justice League Heroes.
Injustice 2.
These aren't
they're not Superman games.
Those are not Superman games.
Superman adjacent.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
I think it's the arcade game.
I think you're right.
There could be like a good Superman game where, like, he's like, you could punch through walls. There's like,
Hey, look,
things.
Superman is good. We know this. We can make this. They could make a good Superman game, but it's going to cost 150 million.
yeah, probably. I'm just
And-
saying.
But if you're going to spend 150 million on fucking Suicide Squad, why are you doing that? And not
What
doing
if you
the
made a Superman
one
game,
first?
but after he died, and you
Yeah.
could play as
Superman Jr.
Steel and
Oh,
the other-
and the Eradicator and
Yeah.
Superboy. And,
No, the kid from the TV show, the Lois and Clark TV, whatever it's called, Superman and Lois. I don't know. Don't they have a TV show with Superman? He has kids who have superpowers.
No, I like Shipwreck's idea of doing a full-on Death of Superman game where you play as Superman for like the first third of the game, and then he dies, and then you play as.
and then you have your games of service where you have 4 people playing as the different versions of
horrible.
not Superman. I
and
think
that's for a third of the game.
I'm ready for the boardroom.
And then the last third of the game is you're back as Superman again.
No. Open world Superman game, and you have to like speed run, like rescuing
Open
the
world
cats.
Superman's going to be difficult because he can go around the entire world.
That's going to be so fun.
You can get
Look,
pizza.
the game's going to cost 300 million.
He's
but
going to get pizza in Italy.
yeah, it's so good. You got to get the pizza before it gets cold.
Yeah, you got to
Get
get
it
the
back
pizza in
before it gets
Italy and
cold,
bring it back to Lois. And Lois is like, "Where'd you get this pizza from?" He's like, "Oh, I got a friend."
Right. And if it's
Mhm.
cold when she gets back, she doesn't fuck you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, and that's what everyone wants.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I want that. All right. What do we got here? CAGbag. Do we need to answer any of these, or can we save these for another time?
I'm sure we could save them for another time.
Okay, let's do one question. Big Mike writes in. He says he wants us to guess on the price of the Switch 2 and what the first party games launch game is going to be.
It's gonna launch with Mario Kart,
Yep.
and
Probably switch to sports.
it's gonna cost somewhere between $399.99 and $499.99. It
No.
could very well be $350. Not $350, $450.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
It's somewhere between $400 and $500 is my guess. Yes.
What was the price of the original Switch? 3?
Nobody knows.
No.
Nobody knows. It's lost the time.
What, you don't know? I'm just asking you if you know. Wasn't it 300?
$89.99.
Oh, you guys suck. It was 350. No, that was the LED one. OLED. Whatever.
Let's see here.
It's gonna be. It could be. 400 is a
God,
lot.
I can't use the internet anymore. There's too many ads.
I feel like
Can't find it.
$400 is a lot for a Switch
I think if 400 is on the low end is my guess.
because of the tariffs.
Yes, because of tariffs.
I think 300 or 350. It can't be above 350.
Nintendo Switch launched at $300.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought. So it's gonna be.
So this
there.
one's going to be more.
Well,
I
it? I don't know.
Yeah, I think if
350?
we look at. I don't know. I think we're. Yeah, I think 350 is the lowest it would be.
I haven't looked at any of the stats or anything because I don't care.
Yeah, I think it's 350.
I'm saying strong at 4.
Okay.
I think you might be right, but I'm doing prices right rules, and you didn't claim $399.
I did say $399.99.
I don't know if you can do that.
I said $399.99.
So I can still have $399.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Fair.
It's not going to be $399. It'll be $389. No, it won't. $349 or $399. That's what it's going to be.
$399.89.